Hi guys, it's Promise Sebastian here again with another awesome Blender tutorial. Whether you're a pro or a beginner, this tutorial is for everyone. So we're going to be turning this box we have here into this magic wand render. So we are going to be learning modeling, texturing, lightning, and rendering. I will urge you all to follow along with the tutorial. So you're going to create your own magic wand render and lit it up like this. Okay, without further ado, guys, let's get started. I'm going to delete the cube now by clicking on the delete key on my keyboard. So we add a mesh, that's the cylinder mesh, by clicking Shift A now, and then on the mesh, hover our cursor on the mesh and then select the cylinder and then left click on it. So we'll head over to edit mode. By then I'm just going to zoom out so I can see the cylinder very well now. So I'm going to scale it up a little bit by clicking S and then constrain it on the Z axis by clicking Z again and then drag my mouse out a little bit. So something like this is great. So we'll click Control tab 6 to head over to the edit mode, or we can select from the mode here and then select any mode we want to move over to. So I'm going to move over to 3, which is the face mode now in edit mode. Okay, so 3 now to move over to face mode in edit mode, because I'm in edit mode. You can't do this in object mode. I to insert this, and I want to insert it. By that I mean creating a face in a face. So I'm going to drag my mouse inward after clicking I and then drag it out to any length of the face. So this is okay. I just left click now. So I'm going to E again to extrude it out somewhere here, and then G to grab it, Z, and then grab it up the more. So this is the tip of the magic one that we want to create. So I'm going to click E now and then X S again to scale it out there somewhere here, and then E again to extrude out the tip of the magic one. So this is it, and it's great now. So we are going to exit this edit mode by clicking Control Tab 4, or we can use the modes now and then exit. So I'm going to bend this now. So I'm going to be using the transformation tool. I use it a lot and it's really awesome. So this tool here, once you just left click on it now, you're going to see the circles around and then the arrows here. So the circle is used to rotate, or Z, and then the arrows is used to move. Really awesome. Okay, so now I'm going to rotate this now, but first I'm going to use the flat view from the gizmo here. I'm just going to click on the X axis and then I have the flat view with the gizmo there. So I'm going to rotate this now by left clicking on the red circle and then rotate it to any axis I want. This is great now. So I'm going to add the stars now. To do that, we're going to be doing that with a cylinder. So we're going to add another cylinder now. Shift A now, and then on the mesh icon, and then over to cylinder, left click now. So once you add any mesh, so this cylinder is a mesh, you're going to see a pop-up menu here which says add cylinder. If you click on it, you'll see options to change the setting of the cylinder. So I'm going to change this from 32 vertices to just 10 vertices. So I'm going to enter now. By this now, you're going to see that this cylinder now has just few faces. So I'm going to drag this guy out here so I can be seeing what I'm doing. So I'm going to Control Tab 6 now again, or from the edit mode to move over to edit mode. Okay, so I'm going to select just these faces, box selecting them. So click 2 now to move out to edge mode. You know, we'll have 1 for vertex, 2, and then 3 for edge and face mode. So I'm going to box select, hold shift now, and then box select just this edge because I'm in edge mode and the edges have been selected. Hold shift again and then box select this other face. I've selected it now, and then hold shift, select this last edge now, not the face, sorry. Okay, so now I'm going to check out deselect this thing. By this, I want it to be like a check. That means one is selected, one is not selected. So to do that, you just have to head over in edit mode on this select here, left click on it. You see checker deselect, just select it now. It's going to select one edge, leave one edge for you, select another edge. So with this technique now, I can just click S now and then shift Z to remove the scaling, that's the Z axis, and then scale only on X and Y axis, and then drag my mouse inward to create the star. Okay, so I've gotten a star now with this technique. So we're going to exit this edit mode by clicking Control Tab 4 to move over to object mode, or we can from here move back to object mode. So S to scale this now, and then Z, and then I want to scale it on the Z axis so I can reduce the thickness. Okay, so this is great now. So I'm going to drag the stars to make it look like our reference. So I'm going to drag G to grab now, and then move your cursor to anywhere you want the star to be. So with this our transformation key now, we can now rotate this now by just left clicking on the yellow circle and then drag down or up to rotate anywhere. So I think this is great now. So to see this very well, you can just be here and then you can see the circle very well. Okay, so I'm going to use the X flat view again, and then I want to duplicate now. So I will just right click now, duplicate this, keep it somewhere here, and then right click again, duplicate this, keep it somewhere here. So this is great. Now what we'll have to do now is to texture this. Now to texture this, we'll have to move from this layout mode to the shading mode or workspace, anyone you want to call it. Okay, so most times I call them mode and workspace. They are all the same thing. Okay, so now you have the shading viewport mode here. You are going to see them as white. So you have your materials here. Your materials is what you use to texture whatever you have here. Okay, so you are going to be adding, we are going to be creating new materials. On default, you are going to have one material. So you can see this one material we have here. I'll just left click on it now. So that's the default material. Blender is going to give you one material. So we'll name this gray now. That's going to be our first color. And then you can see where they wrote base color and other options here. This is used to change the color, roughness, reflection of your material. So this is the base color. We want to change the color. So I'll change the color here now to gray. Okay, I think I have a gray color code on my clipboard. So I'm going to select this and I think that's the gray. And then enter. Okay, so I have the gray color now. So you can see I just selected this star. So any mesh you select and then add a color is going to change, add that color to that mesh. But this is not gray. We want to add to this. We want to add yellow. So we can create another material and then we can duplicate the one we have as well. So we have this gray. What I can just do is you can see this paper icon here. We can just click on it now to duplicate the material we have before. So if I click on this material drop down, you see I have two grays now. One is with an extension of 001. So I'm going to change this one to yellow now. And I'm going to type in yellow, enter now. So I'm going to change the base color of this one to yellow. I have a yellow color code on my clipboard. So I think this is yellow now. And then enter now. So you see I have yellow now on this. So, and it's yellow I want this one to have. So I'm going to leave it now. So I want to transfer this yellow I have to these other stars I have here. So I'm going to hold shift now. Left click this other stars, left click this other one, holding shift and then left click this one again because it has to be the active object. By that I mean it has to have the yellow outline instead of orange. So we head over to the object now. You can see where they wrote link or transfer data. So we're going to link the material, so you can see the materials are there now. So another thing I want us to add on this now is a background. Okay, so we're going to click shift A now and then mesh plane now, and then I've added a plane there. So we are going to click S to scale the plane very well. So we're like this, and then I'm going to use the transformation key. I don't have it here. To get it, you click T, and then you have the transformation key. So I'm going to left click on that key again. So it comes out there. So I'm going to left click and hold on the red arrow, move it out down there, move over to edit mode now. And then I'm going to rotate this arrow to rotate now, and then on the y-axis, and then 90. I use numbers most times to rotate exactly on the angle I want. So I'm going to select this edge now, E to extrude out, and then X on the x-axis. So I have the face there. So we want to use this as the background. So another thing we can do is to bevel this now to make it look as if the background is continuous. So just left click on the edge you have here. In edge mode, that's 2, and then Control B to bevel out, sorry. So Control B now, and then if you scroll in, you add more faces. If you scroll out, you reduce the faces. So we're going to scroll in because we want more faces, and then scroll out, drag our mouse outward again to reduce that's the curve of the circle. So I'm going to left click like this now. I think I'm okay. So I'll move out from this edit mode. So I think we'll have the background now. I think I can scale this on the y-axis. So S to scale Y, and then drag our mouse out to scale this a little bigger. Okay, so I can bring this up and then left click on the green arrow and then move it right. Okay, so this is great now. So let's proceed with our texturing. So this background is going to have the gray. That's why I needed to add it now. So we're going to move over on this icon here with the arrow pointing down, left click on it so we can see the material we'll have there. So I'm going to select the gray color now. So the gray color is the one that the background have. So you can see I'm having edges on this now. So I want it to be very smooth. So I can just right click on it. You can see where they wrote shade auto smooth, and then I will shade it auto smooth. So we're going to add different material. That's 2 materials in one mesh. So to do that is very easy, but you do that in edit mode and not object mode. So you can see in object mode, this is selected as one material, as one mesh. So in edit mode now, you can see you have different faces for this one mesh you have here. So I will move over to face mode now by clicking 3, hold Alt now, and then left click on this face now. Left click on it. So I selected all the whole faces connected together. That's how to do that. Shift Alt and then left click. So we are going to assign this material to this face I just selected now. To assign it, you create a slot. You can see where the root slot here. I'm going to click on it now, and then you can see the plus icon now. Click on plus to add one slot of the color, and then click on plus again to add another slot. So we want 2 colors to be in this one mesh in edit mode. So we have to add 2 slots. So on the first slot, the material I'm going to select is gray. So on on this arrow drop down, which where the materials is. I'm going to select on gray now for the first slot. Then on the second slot, I'm going to add yellow. So I'll click on that again on the second slot and then add the yellow material. So we are going to assign all of them. For the gray, we are going to assign this one now as the gray. This material, these faces I just selected, we are going to assign it to the gray. So I'm just going to assign now to the gray now, and it has been assigned. So we hold Alt again and then left click on these faces. Alt left click on this one to select the whole face. Hold Shift now and then left click on this other face to extend the selection. Hold Shift again now and then Alt again to left click on this one to select it and still extend the selection. And then hold Shift again, Alt to keep extending it, and then hold Shift, Alt again, hold Shift and then select, this time not Alt because we don't want to select the whole row. Okay, we are going to assign the yellow to this one now, yellow, and then assign. So you can see now one mesh now has two colors. So that's it. So easy. So, okay, I think we are done with this now. So we'll move over to the render viewport mode so we can then start adding the lightning. So from that, to do that, you can see icons here, about 4 of them. The last one is the render viewport mode or the viewport shading mode. So you can see on default, Blender gives you one light once you open up a project. So this is a point light, and I'm just going to drag it here, and then I'm going to duplicate it. I'm going to right click now and then duplicate object, bring it somewhere here. So I'm going to change this from point light to a spotlight. If you head over to the light icon here, you can see 4 types of light. So we have the spotlight here. I use this one very well because it's really nice. So I'm going to drag the arrow and then point it to the mesh or the material. Okay, that's the mesh, not the material. Okay, so we're going to drag this up with the Z axis and make sure it's pointing towards the mesh now. So we're going to change the intensity of the light now. So you can see where the raw power. So we're going to make this 10,000 watts instead of 1,000 watts. So we'll add extra 0 and then enter now. So you can see the light is very tense on this one. So on this one now, we're going to add extra 0 for it again. So 0 now and then enter now. So you can see it's very bright now. So we can drag this out now. So the intensity is not much on the mesh. So I think I can still drag it out. So the closer the light, the more strong is going to be on the material. So I think this is now great. So another thing now is rendering. So for you to render out, you have to select this camera icon now. And then what this camera icon captures is what you're going to render out. Okay. So before that, we are going to auto shade smooth on this one again. You know, we shade smoothed the background. We didn't do for the material. So just right click now and then shade smooth, and it's going to be very smooth. You're not going to be seeing the outlines again. Okay. So let's click on our camera icon again. What it captures is what it's going to render. So to change this now, you head over to the output properties now, and then I don't want something like a landscape. I want something square. So my x-axis is also going to be my y-axis. So the same resolution 1920 is what I'm going to type in for the x and the y-axis. So I'm going to have a square dimension for the render. So I'm going to click N now to bring up another tab. So in this tab, you're going to see item 2 and view. So we select on view now, and then we're going to lock the camera. By locking the camera, that means if you are panning through, zooming in or zooming out, the camera is going to be one place. So with that, now I can now move the view and the mesh so I can get the perfect view I need. So I think this is great now. So I can still unlock it again. So let me just unlock it now. So now I can now pan through. And then let me adjust this light a little bit. Let's rotate, arrow to rotate Z now. And then let's increase the blur of the light. I think it can blend very well with the background. So this is great now. You can see what the camera is rendering out. So just click on render now and then render your image. Voila. Thanks for watching this awesome tutorial. If you did learn anything, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe as well. So if you did enjoy the tutorial, let me know in the comment section. If you think there's anything I need to improve on, let me know in the comment section. If you did your own render, share with me as well. Thanks very much for watching. See you on my next tutorial.